made some changes. Important stuff, and I'm still making more. I just, the spacing, that's just, it's just so it looks better on the page. Right here, I'm doing a little quote thing, and it's just kind of like you hear it, How is wrong, changing how to that. Things like that. I just went cat like wolf how. That cattish stuff, if it's there, it's okay. But I'll get rid of it if I see it. We're gonna get to the next one. It's on the phone. This one is a sloppy mistake. Page 215. I should have caught this a long time ago. All right, and then we're gonna go ahead and save it. Right here. We're not gonna let it go idle. Now, let me tell you about PDF. It can smear. A PDF can kind of smear. So on this puppy, I'm going to PDF it twice because that last PDF I did, it smeared a little bit. It's just like printing. I'm not talking about printing with this thing. I'm talking about making a PDF on this, which is this right here, which is going like that. That can smear. So some of it was like cut. It's called a digital smear. And it was on just the last one. So hopefully it'll correct itself. I'm going to go through twice to make sure so we can get rid of any digital smears. So I'm going to PDF it twice. You ever have that? You ever do it? Have you ever done this with PDF and you do it twice? Okay, that's an instinctive thing so that you know that so it won't smear. Because it can digitally smear in there and it can cut a word in half. You can still read it though, but it just doesn't look as good. So you go over this way, PDF here. Got that, that's good. Boom, and we're gonna do it again. It should come up there. Okay, was it that quick? Okay, maybe it was. Now, it's thinking. I tell you, these computers, they should last for 10 years. This should last for 10 years. It should have. It is a slow, selfish a-hole. This thing, I don't like Dell. I don't like it. Okay? Macintosh only for me, from now on. If I'm going to buy a product, especially if we're going to spend $2,000, this was a $700 computer. It's about almost $800. It was on sale. It was being sold for over $1,000. That should last you 10 years. I would say a Macintosh could last you a lifetime, maybe if you know the right people and want to keep up with it. Listen, you can buy a car and that car can last you a lifetime. It doesn't matter what car. Nowadays, those cars can last you a lifetime. But you have to know the right people and because you can rebuild stuff. There's cars on the market driving on the freeway today that are from the 60s that work better than some of the new cars. I feel the same with computers. There's people that rebuild computers and stuff. Look at this. And they can do it, okay? I'm no Wozniak. I just use them, I don't want to open them up and mess around. Some people can. They can open these things and they can clean it out where it works better than it did when it was on the market. All right. Here's what's wrong with you. Okay, that's important. Right? So we already PDF'd it. We're going to PDF it one more time. And we're going to go ahead and send that up. And we're going to replace it again. This is the very end of the screenplay. Let me tell you guys. When you're working scene by scene, get every single word correct. Get the dialogue correct. Get the descriptions correct. Read it 10 times. Because if you pull this out in front of a cast of actors and you have a single mistake, you're going to look like a special person. You're going to look like a person that has special needs, and you're going to feel shame. Work on this thing and make it sound like Hemingway. Make it sound great. Get the spelling right. Make it publish it. Make it like a book. Treat it like that. Work on it hard, and maybe you'll be sitting right next to Nicholson. You don't know. People know these things are worked on. This is taking some time. This thing is slow and selfish. Slow and selfish. And get yourself a Macintosh. If you're an artist, work with Apple because it's going to be less painful. Steve Jobs, he just wanted people to be happy. He wanted people to be at zen. He wanted artists to be able to do their work creatively without pain. This thing is painful. This computer is painful. This thing, where is it? The other one. This thing over here is fun, right? This guy right here makes life beautiful. This is fun. It's fun to work with this. And as soon as I get my final draft on this, I'm going to tear it up. I'm going to get a play out there on Broadway, and I'm going to get some movies made, major motion pictures in Hollywood with this thing. This thing can take over the world. Yeah, we added, when Rainey's hand hitting the garage door button, the garage door begins to shake and lift. The sound of the torsion spring unwinds and the electric motor rises from the opener. Wide shot of ranch house garage. So we can hear this probably J cut or an L cut. You know, let's go ahead and add that. We're going to fix opener. Anybody knows anything about garage doors will know the opener. It's the thing on the ceiling. Okay, we're going to say on the ceiling. So the garage door begins to shake and lift. The sound of the torsion spring unwinds and the electric motor rises from the opener. L cut of the motor from the open on the ceiling. Okay, it's actually opener is correct. Let's just put 2. Okay, we're kind of breaking some rules here. So let's just go over this way. And we're going to maybe make these like that. So it's one sentence. L cut of the motor from the opener of on the ceiling. Okay, so we're going to go over here for the college professors and all that stuff. Garage ceiling. So L cut of the motor from the opener on the garage ceiling to wide shot of ranch house garage. We can put anything, any kind of brand. The garage door slowly opens. So what it is you're hearing it happen. So the garage door begins to shake and lift. The sound of the torsion spring unwinds and the electric motor arises from the opener. L cut is a sound thing of the motor from the opener on the garage ceiling, the wide shot of the ranch house garage. So we go wide, but we still hear this motor opening. The garage door slowly opens. Rainey stands in the garage alone. She walks out to find the moon in the air. The smoke is shielding the rays of the moon. Just to say they didn't put an L cut, I got an L cut in there, right? This is kind of supernatural, so the garage door slowly opens. Rainey stands in the garage alone. She walks out to find the moon in the air. There it is. The smoke is shielding the rays of the moon. Rainey returns to her original womanly state. A moment of silence, sound of wind. Go ahead and hit this that way. And we're going to continue on. I like this moment. So after the moment of silence and the sound of wind, when Rainey returns to her original woman's state, we have the interior of the kitchen. She re-enters from the garage. The she-wolf temporarily dies. Okay, so that's just kind of a Lynchian thing that I just, so we know. Rainey falls exhausted on the kitchen floor, breathing slowly. She's already transformed, but the she-wolf is still kind of like inside her, maybe. This can be interpreted. And she falls exhausted on the kitchen floor, breathing slowly. Grace goes to her and holds her hand. He gives her a secret handshake, and they have shared in the past. It's going to be okay, honey. Don't give up. Just hang on. Something very strange happened to you, and you're going to get better, okay? This is right before she gets killed. Rainey in tears. Something in me hurts real bad. Grace crying tears. Just hang on. The paramedics are on their way. Gerald begins crying out in pain from the injury. So he's somewhere around. Grace goes to Gerald and holds him as if he's suffering and far too winded to talk. Hang on, Gerald. They're on the way. So Grace becomes like this, almost like a paramedic or something. He becomes like this doctor. He's trying to help everybody. And then he says, I'll do my best. Well, it's his house, Cut to bird's eye view shot. Grace's burning ranch. Fire truck, ambulance, and police driving down the long driveway of the ranch. The barn is still burning. The fire truck pulls up to the barn and begins, there we go, spraying the remaining of the barn, extinguishing the fire. Cut to, Gerald is saved. Interior Grace's living room that night. Red and blue lights flash across the room. Sounds of a fire truck, engine, siren, and ambulance arise outside, and various emergency vehicles blare and buzz their horns. This is personification, that, there, the word there. I'm just so crazy about the English language, dude. I have to pick it apart like you wouldn't believe. Grace holds Gerald. At this point, Gerald is mumbling incoherently. Grace, what is it, sir? What are you trying to say? Gerald Ullman III, mumbling. What did you say? More, I can't understand what you're saying, sir. He needs help here. Gerald Ullman III, he mumbles more. I don't know what you're saying, sir. Please speak up. Speak clearly, sir. Gerald Ullman III, he mumbles more and continues mumbling. The ambulance medical personnel enter and begin working on Gerald, applying medical gear and bandages to his cuts and injuries. Paramedic 1, sir, please move to the side. Paramedic 2, sir, we need room. Paramedic 1, his heart is failing. We need the ECG. Paramedic 2, 1, 2, 3. The paramedics put him on the gurney. Trauma. Paramedic 2, the cut is bleeding out. Scissors. Paramedic 1, give me that. Here, cut, gluing. Watch the heart. Keep him steady. Still breathing. Sound of heart beating. Medical equipment beats in unison. Electrical beating. More medical electronic sounds. Beep, 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 and so on. We're losing him. Keep this on him. We're losing him. Get him on the ambulance. Okay, so we have this thing that goes on right here. And then he's just kind of, sir, what are you trying to say? And here it is right here. What are you trying to say, sire? So how to describe this is very difficult, and I think it also might take from the rhythm of the screenplay. So they're just going to have to be geniuses to figure this is really strange. Okay, and I have it in titleized or whatever. It's slanted right here. And that's going back to Rome. So his voice is a little different right here on this. What are you trying to say, sire? So we're hearing like an L cut, or it's really a J cut. It's like an ancestry J cut. Okay? And I'm not going to put that in there because I don't want all the freaking people to laugh, like, what is this guy talking about? Yeah. I'm just going to leave it this way and just leave it to the dialogue. Leave it to Grace, And then Grace says, tell me what you're trying to say. What are you trying to say? And then cut to her ambulance. Rain spills from the heavens. The paramedics work on Gerald, sealing his wounds and steadying his heart. Cut to Grace kitchen. Moments later, the electric cat feeder drops a batch of dry cat food in the kitty's bowl. Okay, we'll just say kitty's bowl. It sounds good. Garland struts up and snacks on the cat food. The Alexa device beeps. This is how remember the story kind of begins. It kind of begins this way. Alexa device beeps and begins playing The Year of the Cat by Al Stewart. I listened to that today. I love that song. The cat finishes his food and struts over to the windowsill and hops up and stares out at the ambulance which holds Gerald. We hear Grace scream at the ambulance as it slowly rolls away, flashing its lights down the driveway. What in the hell are you trying to say, sir? So Grace tries it again. The only thing is that's an off-screen thing right there. If you looked at it, it's off-screen. Okay. Paramedic 1 says, sir, was there something you wanted to say? Gerald Ullman III finally says yes. A long moment, medical equipment beeps. Gerald Ullman III, she was quite the bitch. The siren sounds on the ambulance right after he says that. Gerald notices the cat, Garlene, is sitting at the windowsill, licking his lips and staring out at the ambulance that carries his injured body away. He hears the cat meow. There's a sparkle in the cat's eyes. Close up, the cat's Garlene's eyes. Close up, Gerald Ullman's eyes. I always say Ullman's, but it's Ullman's. Music cue, Year of the Cat by Al Stewart fades up. And I don't care if it's Ullman or Ullman. We can have a big cup of coffee. We'll sit around and talk about why I put an E at the end. Lifting crane shot, ambulance drives down the long driveway with blaring siren and flashing lights. A police car follows the ambulance that carries the injured Gerald Ullman III. Music continues, fade out credits. Grace, a.k.a. Werevlog, screenplay by Cole Spivey. There's my email. Kitty, the whole world is watching. The whole world is watching. The whole world is watching, Kitty. The whole world is watching. Everybody's watching, Kitty. The whole world is watching. Kitty. Don't touch me. The whole world is watching.